Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today we're going to do a little day in the life. I've got some errands I've got to run, and I want to see what charge could I have gotten if there was charging at the different locations I was going to. Let's get into it. Okay, everybody, so I'm on the way to run some errands. I gotta go to GNC, I gotta go to Target, and I have got to go to Giant to get some groceries. So we're starting at 73% state of charge, and I'm gonna see how much we use and how much we could have put back into the car. Now, why does this matter? Why do I care about this? Why am I doing this video? Well, I've noticed that there's a lot of emphasis on fast charging and not a lot of emphasis on level 2 charging, or even low level fast charging, like 25 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt fast chargers. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to wait a long time to charge. I want as fast of charging as I can get. And I totally agree when you're going on like a road trip or something like that. But for daily life, and you're just trying to recoup any charge you may have used on your commute or whatever you've done on your day, you don't really need fast charging. And it's also not the best. It's not the worst, but it's not the best for your battery. And anytime you can stick to AC charging, you're going to help out a little bit. So I've noticed, like, especially where I live, and please comment down below about where you live. Maybe you have really great level 2 charging infrastructure, but where I live, there is really none. We have one grocery store that has a 5.5 kilowatt level 2 charger, and that's it really when it comes to places that you have to go to. Now, there are some other level 2 chargers installed at a government building, which is great for the people that work there, but not for people like me, where I don't work there. I teach at a school, you know, I drive around a lot, I go to the grocery stores and the restaurants and all those things in my community. That's where I would love to be able to charge. Now, I'm really fortunate because I can charge at home, but not a lot of people can. And there's a lot of controversy and conjecture, I guess, about, well, if you can't charge at home, then you shouldn't get an EV. And I don't like that mentality. And I think that everybody should be able to get an EV. And I think that the infrastructure needs to be prepared to support anybody, regardless of where they live or their capability to charge at home. So what are solutions? Solutions are put them where people go, put them at places of work, put them at grocery stores, put them at malls, put them at fast food restaurants, gas stations, put them in as many places as possible so that people can charge a little bit here, a little bit there, and throughout their day. And that is kind of like the best solution to this issue, in my opinion. AC chargers are cheaper to install. They tend to last a little bit longer, at least from my observance. Our AC chargers at our government building have pretty much always worked, and the DC fast charger doesn't always work. It breaks down I feel like more often than it should. But anyways, you get the point here. So I think that, especially with the NEVI funding, there's way too much focus on fast charging. And while that will help cross-country travel, it's not going to help most use cases for people who are just commuters, who want to be able to drive from home to work, and, you know, maybe help the environment out a little bit on the way. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm driving there. It's going to be a little kind of vlog style, if you will. And then I'll run some numbers and basically see, you know, what could I have gotten if the infrastructure was better. All right, everybody, grab some protein powder. and I'm gonna get back in the car and kind of explain some things about not being able to charge at this location and how level 2 might be really good for here. All right, everybody, we're leaving GNC. Now we're heading to Target. I'm actually gonna head to not my normal Target, but that's okay. And there is a charger there, so I'm gonna use it. Now the Target I normally go to in the town that I live in, there's no charging there. But since this is on the way, since this is where I had to go, I might as well charge and kind of see how that works out for me. Now, a couple thoughts about this location. So first off, I was only in there for 4 minutes. So say I plugged into like a 5.5 kilowatt charger, I'm not really gonna get a lot of charge, and it's really not worth my time at the end of the day. Sure, could I plug in and get something? Yeah, but is it worth it? Maybe not, because I was just stop and grab and going. Now, say I had a faster option, maybe it was a 50 kilowatt charger. If I were to plug in, I might pick up 2 or 3 kilowatts. I don't feel like doing the math. Maybe I'll put it down here below. But I might pick up 2 or 3 kilowatts, and that's like, 10 or 12 miles that I got back just by, plugging in real quick, going inside. Now, I would bet the average person going to GNC maybe would be around 5 to 10 minutes. I was a pretty quick customer today, but that's that. Now, I showed kind of the rest of the shopping center, and there's a lot of options and a lot of different locations with different dwell times. So again, a GNC dwell time is 5 to 10 minutes, but there's a massage place. The dwell time for that could be an hour, maybe a half hour, an hour. So you could pick up a lot more charge if you were going somewhere like that. So what would be a really good option for this site? Well, there's a couple. They could put in, like, I don't know, 10 to 15 maybe level 2 chargers. Maybe make them some 48 amps, so that'd be 11.2, 11.5 kilowatts, which would be great. For me, again, if I plugged in for 4 minutes, I wouldn't have picked up that much. But for someone who's gonna be there for 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, something like that, they're going to pick up a substantial amount of charge given the amount of time they're located there. Another potential option, and this does exist, and I'm not going to get too electric information-y, but basically they could put in a fast charger, and they could put in a 100 kilowatt fast charger. We've heard about those, right? And what they can do is they can take that 100 kilowatts and they can split it into actual 4 different posts. So if maybe I go and I plug in, I'll immediately get 100 kilowatts or whatever my car's capable of getting. Then someone else plugs in, it'll be split to 50 each. And then someone else will plug in and it'll get split. And then someone else plugs in and it'll get split. So there could be 4 cars charging at 25 kilowatts. And there's no need to overpower for a location like that. People's dwell times are quick. Anywhere, like mine was 5 minutes, maybe an hour would be the longest. There was a Starbucks. You could hang out for Starbucks for a long time. But you don't need a fast charger, because if you have too fast of a charger, then people's vehicles are going to get charged so quick that they're gonna have to leave wherever they're at so that they can unplug, or maybe they have to leave it there for some reason because they can't get out of the tanning booth, or I don't know, and they have to have idle fees, which would not be great. So it's okay to have slow fast charging as well, and I think that would be a really great location to have that kind of application. Maybe you put I don't know, 3 100 kilowatt charging capability, so you could basically do maybe 12 posts that could charge at 25 kilowatt minimum, but maximum 100. And I think that'd be a really great option. And for some of you, I know you just heard that, you're like, but I don't want people taking my power. You know what? At the end of the day, if you're going somewhere and you don't have to charge at home and you can charge while you're there, who cares if it's 25 or 100? The only time it really matters that you have to get max speeds as fast as you can, as much energy you can, is when you're on a road trip. If you're not on a road trip, it's okay if you just get a little bit here, a little bit there. If you don't get up to 80% for that day, it's all right. If you only get up to 65, 70, it's not going to be the end of the world. Heck, it'll actually be better for your battery to not hold hold such a high state of charge in your battery pack. So I think that should and could be the future, and how they should move for charging at locations, especially locations like that. A bunch of level 2 or that low powered DC fast charging would be perfect. Now I am here at Target. I'm gonna go plug in. It looked like there's only one car charging, and run in, grab what I need to get from here, and then get back to the rest of my errands. All right, I'm here at an Electrify America station. I'm sure you all are pretty familiar with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in and then get to Target. All right, everybody, got everything I need from Target, and now I'm gonna go unplug. I'm not gonna sit around and wait, because you shouldn't have to wait on charging. Charging should wait on you. I don't know about that, but all right, let's go get in the car and get on with the rest of my errands for the day. Okay, we're all charged up to 76%. I believe we were at 65, so gained 11%, pretty good. Now we're gonna head to Giant, where I'm gonna get all of our groceries for the day, and then I'm gonna go home, and there we have it. Okay, we are on our way from Target, going to Giant to grab some groceries. Again, we were only there for, it wasn't that long. I want to say maybe 8 to 10 minutes, a very short amount of time. Was able to recoup almost 8 kilowatt hours, which is about 30-ish miles when you do the math, which is pretty awesome. So I'm not usually pro having that fast of charger at a location like Target, because I don't think it really meets the dwell time, but it worked okay for me. Now I was charging at 76 kilowatts because that was my state of charge. So maybe that proved that a lower speed, maybe a 50 to 80 kilowatt charge fast charger would be good there. And again, like I said earlier in the video, I think a site-based distribution where there's 100 kilowatts that can get split up 4 ways, I think that'd be really good, and a cost-effective method for a lot of these places to get effective charging infrastructure fast for their customers. One thing I wanted to chime in on real quick, and I've gone on the record a bunch, I'm not going to take a long time, is that I really think that charging has to cost money. I think people expect free charging, and I think at the end of the day, places aren't going to want to put in charging if people are expecting free charging, because they're going to ultimately lose money. And while it is maybe a convenience and something extra that their customers get, I'm not sure how much they pay versus how much they would make in sales would actually make it effective for them to put in charging. So I think all charging should cost money. I don't think it should be too crazy. I think AC charging should be about maybe 150 to 100% more than what you would pay to charge at home. So we're 13 cents, so 100% more would be 26 cents. That's the upper for AC, I think. And then a lot of places around where I am are 17 cents. So that's only about, that's 40%, or I don't know. I'm driving, so I can't do math, but it's only that much extra over what I would pay at home. So for fast charging, I think fast charging should be much more expensive, so that people don't feel like that should be their first option to go to. Obviously, if you're on a road trip, that's something you want to be able to rely upon, and obviously you're paying for the convenience of the fast charging speeds, but if you don't need to charge fast, you shouldn't charge fast. And that's what this kind of little video is today, is charge a little bit here, charge a little bit there, and you'll get all you need for your daily life, and you will have spent no extra time. So again, I didn't go to any of these places because I wanted to charge. I went to these places because I had things to do. And so I didn't waste any time charging. It was actually convenient to charge, which you can't say about gas or about what a lot of people currently have for their charging habits of going somewhere and sitting maybe at an AC charger for an hour or two when they could be doing other things, enjoying time with their family, getting work done, who knows. All right, everybody, we've arrived at Giant. I'm gonna go ahead, go in and do my grocery shopping, and then we're gonna see how long it takes, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts of what would be a good charging setup for Giant, and then kind of give the whole summary once I get home. All right, all done at Giant. So again, we arrived at Giant and are leaving with 70% state of charge. Now I'm going home, and we'll see how much we have left when I pull into the driveway, and then give my final thoughts about charging. And again, with the Giant, I wish there was charging, but there isn't charging. And I just think grocery stores are a really great location for multiple higher power level 2, so 48 amp or above, but 48 amp is probably the most cost effective, or lower power DC fast charging, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm back home. We arrived with 69% state of charge. If we had not charged at the Electrify America at the Target, we would have arrived with 58% state of charge. So that helped out. We left with 73 from the beginning of the trip and arrived back with 69. So we only used, if you will, 4%, and are now good for the next day and have plenty of charge to go, which is awesome. So that just shows that having that one charge was good, but imagine if I had charged at all of the different locations. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get out of the car because my wife actually needs to use it to go pick up our son, and then I'll give you my perspectives in the backyard, which is my thinking place. All right, everybody, so I'm gonna kind of wrap this video up here. So basically, again, I arrived back home with 69%. I was able to get 11% when I was at the Electrify America station at the Target, but I was not able to charge at either Giant or GNC. So basically, I did a little bit of calculation here to see what I could have gotten if there was some charging installed. So I did a 11.5 kilowatt charger, a 25 kilowatt, so a slower DC fast charger, and then a 50 kilowatt slower DC fast charger as well, to see what kind would be the best for at least this this scenario that I went through today. So with an 11.5 kilowatt charger, I would have recovered 8% because I had a total dwell time of 32 minutes between GNC and Giant. And so 8%, and I had 69 when I got home. So if I had 8% more, I would have had 77%, which would have been more than what I left with, which would have been awesome. If it was a 25 kilowatt charger, I would have added 17% to my battery, and then I would have arrived home with 86% state of charge, which is a little bit more than I would like to keep it at. So maybe I wouldn't need to charge that much. You know what I mean? If there's a faster charger, maybe I would have opted to not charge it actually, so I got home around what I would want, which is 80% or lower. I've read something today, and I might start trying 70%, and I'll talk more about that later after I try that out. And then lastly, if it was a 50 kilowatt charger for the dwell time I had, I would have actually arrived home with basically 98 or 99%, which would not be great. So my initial thought is it probably would be okay to just have these 48 amp chargers installed at locations, especially if you had a ton of them, because they'd be more affordable. Most EVs coming out now have a 48 amp 11.5 kilowatt onboard charger, so that would probably be a good option. But again, I like the low power DC fast charging, especially if it's a 25 kilowatt, because again, that would give me more than I needed, and I'd be way good for my commute or the rest of my week or whatever it might be. So I think that people need to really, not people, not you and me, but people above us who are kind of deciding what charging to put, they need to reconsider, should we pump the brakes on all of the high power fast charging and focus more on the level 2 infrastructure at places that people go and instead. And I think that's what they should do, because right now the infrastructure is really poor. And I'm gonna keep doing different videos like this to kind of highlight what I could have been able to do charging wise with places I'm going that don't inconvenience me if the infrastructure was good enough. So I hope you all enjoyed this a little bit different of an episode. I am going to do more of them. Please leave your comments down below. Give some feedback, that way I can keep tweaking them and make them useful to you. Again, thanks for watching. Please remember, hit the like and the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You know what? Maybe even leave a super thanks if you're feeling it. And I will catch you all next time.